to rock here tonight with some Steelers news, some NFL news, and just simply talking life and football here. So, again, thank you for joining us. So make sure you double tap that screen, hit that like button for us, send us out into that YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure you're sharing the show. That will definitely help out also. What's up, Mike Miller? What's up, Robert Road? Here we go. Steelers. Robert says Steelers gave up 13 or fewer points in all four of Feilds' wins. It isn't a big loss if Feilds signs elsewhere. Not a big loss to lose Wilson either. Austin says, hi, how are you? I believe that I could see why you say it. Definitely. And I can't argue that. But what I can say is, if the plan is put into place the way I think it is, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers got to get a deal done with Justin Fields. That's just the way I see that plan working out. I don't think if you're the Steelers to remain in this mediocre competitive nature that they always are, I don't think that you can risk going in there with a guy like a Skylar Thompson or somebody like that. I'm not saying that they will go there, but you know what I mean. I just think that they need to secure somebody that has some sort of veteran presence. And please, guys, I've seen it on X already, and I want to say this before I forget. What's up, Daniel? What's up, downtown Zach Curry? What's up, guys? I want to say this before I forget, and I've seen it on Twitter. Do not click on it. It's one of those stupid accounts. I think it's like a Justin Fields beta or something that says they are signing Justin Fields to a 1-year, $13 million deal. Do not click on that, guys. These people make up the dumbest shit and just point it out there. I'm not saying that couldn't happen, but until you actually know, until you see the deal come out, it's not worth speculating, honestly. It's not even worth doing that. What's up, Danny George? But again, if the Steelers don't sign Justin Fields, in my opinion, I think it's all because of Mike Tomlin's ego. The guy wants a real chance to start. And I don't know if he sees that with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's due to Mike Tomlin's ego last year. Regardless of a 5-game losing streak, there still was no change. There still was nothing in Mike Tomlin that said to him, maybe we should just give the kid a chance again and see how it goes. Russ just isn't getting it done here. And if I'm Justin, that's very discouraging. Very discouraging. And I use Justin as an example here to lead into other players. You already start to see the dominoes fall here, guys. Christian Kirk heading to the Texans via trade. I can't remember the exact details of that trade, but you're starting to see the dominoes fall. And does it start to concern you as a Steelers fan that perhaps the Steelers sit on their hands again, waiting on one player in particular, whoever that may be, in hopes that that's what they're going to get instead of being ultra aggressive here in free agency to make a real move? But do some of these players say to themselves, I don't want to go there yet. I don't know what the quarterback situation is there yet. That could be the problem too. But when it's a traded player, they kind of don't really got too much say in that, So if the Steelers are aggressive, I don't know why they left a guy like Christian Kirk slip through their fingers. And I'm not saying they have to get him, but it just makes me start to worry already a little bit because some of these teams are gearing up to be real players, man. And I think the Steelers need to be real big-time players inside of free agency. They also had some visits today that we're going to talk about. I finally can say this dude's name right. I've been practicing because I don't know why it computes in my head every time to call this dude Shao. It's Shuck. I don't know why every time I see his name, my mind goes blank. It's like one of those weird names or words that get in your head and you cannot get it out. I have no idea why my mind cannot compute it for some reason. So I've been saying it to myself over and over again. But they did have 3 visits today, one being a local visit from Wyatt Millum. And then they had, who else did they have? J.J. Pegasus out of Mississippi. Wyatt was from WVU, and Louisville quarterback Tyler Shuck. So I know that's one of our viewers' favorite players for the Steelers to draft, is quarterback Tyler Shuck. He's a guy that doesn't look bad. I think age concerns a lot of people. However, in my eyes, guys, you could still get a decade out of that guy or more. You get a decade out of him that takes him to 36 years old. That's a long time to have a player, 10 years. So I wouldn't be opposed to a Tyler Shuck drafting and bringing him in and allowing him to play. The guy really does have some good pocket presence. He's not afraid to take that hit standing inside of the pocket. And he also can manipulate the pocket with his feet, and he also can move with his feet too. And his arm strength is quite good. So definitely, I would not shy away from Tyler Shuck. Jackson Dart's another one. Shuck could be a guy, though, that climbs up these draft boards. And again, people are probably leery of him because of the age, being 26 years old, when he would be into his rookie season. But he's 6'5". He threw for almost 3,200 yards last year, 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So not bad, man, from a guy playing in Louisville. I really think the body type fits what you would want if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, definitely. It could give you somebody that could stand in that pocket, and I'm all about that. I am all about that. So we can talk a little bit more about that as we move through. Roberta says, good evening, everyone. Question, when does free agency start? I wouldn't mind if he is available. I would like to see Dobbs come back as backup quarterback. He would be good to teach young QBs. Yeah, I don't mind Josh Dobbs. He's just never going to be a starter in this league. It's just the way it is. Do I mind him being a third teamer or second teamer here and there? No, I don't. He's very smart, though, so maybe that would help out. No doubt about it. He is a gifted athlete. I just don't think that you see Josh Dobbs back in Pittsburgh unless it's like something, it is what it is type move. They really didn't have too many other options. They just do it. But free agency starts on the 12th. Tampering period's a few days ahead of that. So you're looking now at just a few days here. And guys, don't get it twisted. They're already making deals. Deals are being done. You're seeing trades start. You're seeing deals, though, being talked about. And they have already got a lot of deals in place. And if you're the Steelers, you need to come out firm, I think, and offer if you want Justin Fields to be your guy and you hope to get a Shuck or a Dart or a Howard, somebody inside of a round 2-3 guy, maybe 4th round guy. I doubt that any of those guys really make it that far. I think that they'll be picked up far before that. Shuck is a guy that I think will climb up draft boards, and I think he'll be gone probably around a 2nd round is what I would say. I think Howard could make it into the 3rd round. Jackson Dart, I think, is going to be a guy that's a toss-up type player that could go anytime, those guys definitely could all fit, and I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. Danny, good to see you. Sco 6 Trey, Vikings need a veteran QB1 in their last season's number 1 choice. Justin Fields is available. Bidding starts at $30 million. There's no way Justin Fields gets paid $30 million a year. That would never happen, Sco 6 Trey. I hear what you're saying. The Vikings definitely have some weapons, and that would be something that Justin Fields would be very beneficial from, no doubt about it. But $30 million, you could have him, man. I wouldn't pay $30 million a year for a guy that's not had enough success to warrant a $30 million per season contract. Downtown, I believe in that. This is a transitional year, and there isn't the view in how 500 is another day in the workshop type season. I definitely think that this is a bridge year. That's why I say if you can get Justin Fields for 10 to 12, maybe even 13, 14 million dollars, and keep that as a short deal, and ensure Justin that he's going to be the starter, I wouldn't be opposed to that and bringing in a guy. Now, when you're talking about bringing in a guy, say you do bring in Tyler Shuck. That's the guy you bring in. With his age being 26, I think that would be something you would just want to throw him in. And I'm not saying he has to be the week 1 starter. I'm just saying you need to get him in there sooner rather than later. So maybe not having a Justin Fields or anybody else that would be somebody that would hold on to that starting position throughout the season. Maybe that would be a way you don't want to go, So That's the thing with a guy like Justin Fields, that you can't overpay for him. But he needs a guarantee that he's going to be the starter. He's not going anywhere unless he knows he is going to be the starter. And you got to give it to Justin whether you like him or not, whether you like his play or not. If you watched last season and you watched the way that he worked up in Latrobe, guys, you cannot discount that work ethic that he brought each and every day. The way he grew, the way he worked, the way he busted his ass up there cannot be overlooked. And I'm not going to overlook it. Regardless of whether you want him to be the quarterback or not, we have to give him praise for that, because that young man worked his ass off in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, day in, day out, never caused an issue, and really just busted his ass, and that has to be applauded. And any team getting Justin knows this, that regardless of what happened in Chicago, you're going to get a guy that comes to work every single day, and that has to be given to Justin, and he has to be applauded for that. We have to make sure we recognize that, because that's only fair. San Francisco may be looking for a quarterback one and an upgrade to their low-budget Justin Fields Purdy. Bidding starts at $30 million. Purdy is their guy, man, no doubt about it. They're not going to be looking for anybody. Downtown John Broadway, OH65. Just like a certain Mason Rudolph, huh? Geez, we didn't develop him. How can we get a draft pick quarterback and do what? Yeah, and I can see a fan concerned. Downtown saying, like, look, his comments saying, we didn't develop Mason. What would make me think that we would develop anybody else at the quarterback position as a draft pick? You can't think that way. Why? Because you just got to. They have to start doing it. They have to figure out how to develop these guys. And Mason's situation, he found himself in a little bit of an odd place. And when Ben was there, Mason found himself in the situation of, man, I'm playing behind a Hall of Fame guy, so that kind of slowed things down. He did get to come in when Ben ripped out that elbow, and then you had the Devlin Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph season. Mason struggles here and there, no doubt about it, but Mason never really got a real guarantee of being that guy for any length of time. So we can't discount Mason fully, and I think his situation was a little bit odd. After that incident with Myles Garrett and all that shit that went down there, that really put some sour taste in people's mouths on both sides of that story, and definitely, I think, had some sort of play into Mason Rudolph's career as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Whether I'm right or wrong there, we'll never know, but it sure seems like it. Super chat coming in from Dresden. S. Dresden says, Dart is gone before 21 and Fields does not trust Tomlin. Yeah, I think Dart could go at any second. No doubt about it, Dresden. I think you are absolutely 1,000% right about that. And I don't think that Justin does trust Mike Tomlin, because I think Mike Tomlin's ego is far too big for Justin to trust. I hate to say this stuff, man, because I don't want to believe it to be true. But Mike Tomlin definitely probably screwed Justin up a little bit in the head in terms of, man, you're our guy, 4-2. We're rolling. We're winning games. We're not playing bad, We're getting it done. We're putting W's in the win column. Then you take him out. Russ does have some early success, but man, has a very hard 5-game straight losing streak. And Mike Tomlin sits on his hands there. If I'm Justin Fields, I don't have faith in a head coach that doesn't make any adjustments at the most pivotal point of the season on a 5-game losing streak. With the playoffs, with the season at hand, and you just sit there and you watch it continue to implode. Was Russ the biggest issue the Steelers had? No. But if you're the head coach of the football team, you got to find ways to create spark. And he didn't do that, guys. And if I'm Justin, I got to be leery about going back there. I don't want to, you can compete for the job if I'm Justin. I just rather go somewhere else and start over. And that's just the way it would be for me if I was Justin Fields. Now, if I'm the representation of Justin Fields, I would probably recommend pushing him toward the Steelers for a short-term contract. I think that could possibly benefit him in the long term. That's just my personal opinion, and I may be wrong about it. Let's keep going, though, in the chat. Let me catch up with the chat, and we'll continue to dive through those pre-draft visits that took place today for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, we will talk about Christian Kirk going to the Houston Texans. That team really seems to be gearing up, but they have a quarterback in place. They had no wide receivers at the end of last season, but they don't want that to happen again, and they went out there and they traded for Christian Kirk, and definitely want to continue to talk about this Steelers quarterback situation and possibly how this could all go down. Don't forget, double tap that screen, hit that like button for us here on Steel City Live, only on Mike Drop Sports. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Join the community, join the conversation each and every day here on our live stream. So let's continue. Also, guys, it's absolutely free to hit that like button. Another Wombat in the house. Feilds is going to command $20 million minimum if he hits open market. $25 million wouldn't shock me. There's a lack of quarterbacks available. I agree. There is a lack of quarterbacks available. I just don't see a world in which Justin Fields makes $20 to $25 million per season this year. I don't see it. You may be right. You may be right, another Wombat. You may be right. I can't see it. I can't see the value there. I don't know how teams justify that value at $20, $25 million per season. Again, you may be on it, and we're not going to know until we see this deal get done, no matter which team it is that he goes to. But, man, that would be a tough sell for me as a general manager to listen to that $20, $25 million range per season for Justin Fields. I don't know if I could get there. I just don't know. I don't think there's enough quality tape on Justin Fields for you to justify a salary of that magnitude. That's a lot of bread, man, and that eats up a lot of cap space. So in terms of quarterback contracts, it's real cheap. But when you're talking about quality of quarterback, you really got to weigh that value. Tim Manto, ideal contract for Fields. Ideally, it's $10 million per season over 2 years, fully guaranteed $20 million. Basically what you paid Mitchell Trubisky to come from Buffalo down to the Pittsburgh Steelers prior to Kevin Colbert's departure. That would be the ideal spot. Now, I could see reaching a little bit just because of security in terms of he's a veteran in the league. You know he can play. You know he could start week one. I could reach up to, the 13, 14, maybe $1 million per year mark. But if it's any more than that, anything over, let's just say this, anything over $15 million per season, you got to let him walk. You can't rationalize it in your head and make it make sense to pay him anything more than that. If I'm a general manager, and again, guys, I don't get paid to be a general manager, so I may be wrong in that situation. But if I'm thinking about realistic expectations for this guy, $25 million isn't there, nor is $20 million, nor is $30 million. None of those big numbers are there for me. Roberta, what about $25 million a year? Is that too much? Yeah, way too much, in my opinion, Roberta. Again, another Wombat, you guys may be absolutely correct, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not at all, but man, it'd be tough. Mila Meter 215, Steelers might pick up Slay. They could. There's a lot of options, but it makes you really get worried, guys, when you start to see trades and things happen early and you don't see the Steelers in play in it. You start to bite your nails because you're thinking to yourself, is this gonna be another offseason to where they don't make the moves that you think they should make? They did get Patrick Queen last year. I thought that was a solid pickup. No doubt about that. I thought Deshaun Elliott was an amazing move, no doubt. And I'm not saying they haven't been without great moves in free agency, but I just want them to be really, really aggressive this year. And I think that they could have been more aggressive last year, and I don't think they were. And I would have dropped some of the dead weight, perhaps, that you could have got rid of last year instead of just rolling with it. But we'll see how it goes. That's Dresden. Fields does not trust the Lone Ranger. Dart will not make it to 21. He may not, man. Militia, Justin put his heart into it. I think this is the year for him. He did. He did bust his ass, guys, and I won't overlook that, and I don't think any of you will either. You all were pretty reasonable here, you OGs in the chat that are here every day talking Pittsburgh Steelers football, talking NFL football in general. You guys understand what hard work means, what work ethic means, and how much of a value you have to put on that if you're a franchise. Daniel Warman, do you think the Steelers take a running back first? No, I don't think they take a running back first. In my opinion, I think that there are other pressing needs. You have Jalen Warren on the roster. I think you could get away with picking a running back up further down in the draft. I think you should learn your lesson unless it's a super elite talent at the running back spot. I don't think you should go in the first round for a running back. It's got to be an ultra elite guy. A generational type guy, a guy that's going to make some big moves, man. That's a home run, surefire hit. You saw what they did with Najee Harris. He wasn't a home run hit. Everybody thought he was going to be okay, but I didn't think he was a first round type talent. That's just my opinion. I didn't think it then. I don't think it now. But we'll see. Mark Malone, I never saw him hit the sled. Who you're talking about? WV Wyatt or Wyatt Millum or JJ Pegasus or Pegasus. Roberta Campbell, yes, Justin did come in and worked his tail off through everything and still kept a good attitude. JG Black, Omar Khan, and Mike Tomlin must go. Sco 6 Trey, after Justin Fields signs the Vikings, Jets, etc. for $30 million, Steelers will pay $30 million for Russ Darnold or Purdy if traded. I think you're out of control, Sco. I think you're just crazy there, brother. Mila Meter 215, Steelers going to be happy with when Miles leaves Cleveland, LOL. Myles Garrett, though, honestly, Mila, they're not going to care because Myles Garrett really didn't own the Steelers in any way. Typically, when he played the Steelers, he didn't do shit. You had guys like, basic guys, man. Basic guys handling him. He wasn't a big-time worry. So I wouldn't care if he was in the AFC North or not. He doesn't strike super big fear in my eyes. Sorry, guys. I have my wife's cup, best mom ever. I grabbed it out of there and didn't realize that I had it, and I already started filling it with coffee, so I didn't want to waste it. So guess what? I'm best mom ever right now. I'm 200% caring, 400% multitasking, 500% patient. Yeah, so thank you. I'm a good mom. Short Kings, Bengals better. Roberta, I'm not ready to discard Omar yet, and me either. Mason really had a bad run. Steelers after Miles attack. What's up, Sean in the house? Short King 134. Just remember 1917 Bengals better. That's stupid. Quit saying Bengals better. Come up with something better, Short King. Mila Meter 215. Noy. Zach Curry, what else do you do on a live stream besides talk, bud? What, did somebody say something? Sean must have got him before I seen that. LOL. It's Curtin, Short King, Zach Curry. He just yapping about Steelers even when they ask. Hey, Short King, you got to be able to articulate and put together a steady sentence. You can't say even when they ask. That doesn't make sense. You got to talk normal here. We can't do that kind of weird sentence shit that you put in there. I could just skip your comment. I show you a lot of respect by reading your comment that others would just blow by it because you make no sense and you're saying dumb shit. But I give you the respect of reading your comment because that's how we roll here at Mike Drop Sports. But I could easily just not. So you got to make sense with your comments and not just come to troll because this is a place for discussion, real football conversation, not bullshit like you're trying to bring. Mila Meter 215, he's worth $13 million a year for 6 years. Justin would never take a 6-year deal, Mila, at that range because why? That's cutting off his nose, you know. He's not going to do that. He understands. If he's going to take anything under $20 million per year. It's going to be on a very short deal. Considering what quarterbacks get paid in the NFL, there would be no way that he would ever take a 6-year deal at $13 million per year, and I don't blame him. He's going to bet on himself to do much better and make much more money. Because let's be honest, if he just remains the way he is now, he could go make 10 to 13 million all day just traveling the league as a journeyman all over. If I'm Feilds and my only choice is a short-term contract, it'll be with the Vikings behind their O-line and passing to Justin Jefferson instead of the Steelers O-line and passing to Jefferson. Sko 6 Trey, of course you're going to say that. Why? Because you're a Vikings fan. Your view's going to be skewed, and that's okay. I'm a Steelers fan, but I don't let my fandom of the Pittsburgh Steelers skew reality. Would it be a good place for Justin Fields to be in Minnesota? Abso-freaking-lutely, no doubt. They have a quality roster. But is it his only option? Is it the only thing that makes sense? No. But, of course you're going to say that, and that's okay. You're a fan. Pickens, nice. Thank you, Za. Sko 6 straight. Trubinsky wasn't playing for a tanking GM. Fields was. The Bears weren't tanking. They just are stupid and idiotic, man. The franchise track record shows you that. They weren't tanking for anything because they didn't do shit with it. They got Caleb Williams. He wasn't the best quarterback in that draft. Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in that draft. I told you that all summer long before any football was ever played. I told you that before the draft last year, who the best quarterback was out of that draft. And the Bears, yet again, weren't able to comprehend and scout correctly. Jaden Daniels was the only clear-cut, day one type starter. And I'm so thankful he didn't go to the Bears for them to ruin him too. Roberta Campbell, how much cap space do the Steelers have right now? About $65 million, roughly right now, Roberta. And that can change very easily, man. Very easily. There's a lot of tricks to the trade that could get you into the cap, into more cap space. All right, guys, make sure you are double tapping that screen. It's absolutely free to hit that like button here on Steel City Live. We're always chasing 100 likes here on the live stream. So make sure you are double tapping. It's absolutely free. Share the show out to the YouTube algorithm. I truly appreciate it. And make sure you are subscribed, man. I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Join the conversation here on Steel City Live. I don't know what I'm wrong about, Sko. I'm just a realist, and a lot of you out there, not the people that are usually here, but a lot of folks can't handle real and true. They have their fan hat on, and they're gonna just skew it to the way to make their mind believe that whatever they're saying is the only correct way, and that's not how you talk about this game. This game has so many variables that come into play with it, and you got to look at them all, man. And nobody is absolutely correct with the way that they want it to go, with how they're talking about it. You got to have the conversation, and that's what we do here. We kick around a lot of ideas, man. Another good conversation tonight from Black and Gold. I know it sucks that we have to think about paying extra for Fields, but if we did, I don't think I'd be that upset at this point. What's the alternative? That's what I'm thinking too, Black and Gold. And again, if I see the Steelers doing the plan, executing the plan the way I believe that it should be done, I could see that it does make sense. Now, I may be wrong, and they may not go down that path, and the plan that I think would work may be something stupid and may not be something that can be executed by them. So, again, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's the only alternative or the only choice that makes sense. Russ says, what's up, Jason and chat family? Made a live chat. Schedule has been hectic. Good to see you, Russ. Hope you're well, buddy. Hey there, Russ. Wow, just realized I hit 9-month mark already, and he answers chat better than anybody. Thank you, Russ. I appreciate that, and congratulations on being here as a Mic Drop Mafia member for 9 months. Appreciate that, man. Miss Pittsburgh in the house. Miss P, what is up? Downtown John Broadway. Sign Myles Garrett in a Ravens uniform. Would not make me happy. Yeah, he isn't great, but he isn't all that terrible either. No, he's not all that terrible. I don't want to see him go anywhere to where he could be good because of the people he's surrounded by and really do damage that way. I would like to see him go to a place to where he's the only guy in the room, man, that makes any sense to do anything good and kind of slow him down that way. That's, when he's playing around solid quality players, man, he will end up being pretty damn good just because of the people around him. JS, Feilds for me. I can't see paying Russ 30, 40 million, if not more. I can't see doing that. I can't get on board with the Russ stuff right now. Age, amount of salary, and his performance over the last 5 games against quality competition. It didn't make sense for me. Russ, hi Danny, how are you? Zaw with the emojis. Let's keep going. We just added another $4 million restructuring Cole's contract. Could this be space for a wide receiver or any other free agent or re-signing someone in-house? Absolutely, no doubt about it. So you're looking at probably about $69 million if that's the case, Black and Gold. I haven't looked at their number today, but they were in the 60s. So definitely that's probably around 60, almost $70 million in available cap space then. I think TJ's going to require a great deal of money. They probably should have did it last year. It'd have been cheaper. And if you know you're keeping a guy, you got to sign those high-value guys. The earlier, the better. And it doesn't make sense to wait on signing them because what are you doing to yourself? You're costing yourself more and more money each year as the market resets for that position group. So you can't wait. If you know you're going to keep a guy, you know TJ's going to be a one-hat guy, you got to get that deal done early, man. You do it a year or two ahead of his contract expiring, trying to save money there, man. The Steelers don't make sense sometimes with that shit. They end up costing themselves a little bit. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. What about Scattaboo from Troy? What about him? Miss Pittsburgh, let's go, people. Let's hit the shit out of that like button. Black and Gold. Hendrickson once out of Cincy. Anything worth kicking the tires on him or just go young in the draft? I don't know, though, how realistic him getting out of Cincy is. That's the thing, And would Cincinnati do any type of deal with somebody inside of the division? Probably not. Especially not for a player of that caliber, So you're going to have to go young in the draft, no doubt about it, unless there's somebody else in free agency. Let me continue to try to catch up in the chat. Zach Curry, yes, by the end of the weekend, Fields should be signed. Couldn't be more ecstatic. Russ says Fields will be signed by Monday, in my opinion. Downtown, okay. Who's worse, Cleveland or Chicago? Let's hear your thoughts. I think they're both equally shitty, but I'll say right now, Chicago is worse right now, present day. Black and Gold, would love Hendrickson. Yeah, guys, some of those are pipe dreams, though. And I know they'd be fun. It would be awesome. But some of it just wouldn't be realistic. Roberta Campbell, it's the Bears when it comes to quarterbacks. Remember, they traded up in the draft from 3 to 2 to get Mitch when Mahomes was in the draft. They couldn't. They're not good at drafting quarterbacks. Bert 2 Live, go Ravens. Lindsay C, Steelers fans were okay with paying Russ $2 million, but paying him 25 plus is insane. That's exactly my thoughts, Lindsay. Good to see you too. Will S, Mike Tomlin doesn't care about winning the Super Bowl. He's only worried about maintaining his no losing season record. Seems like that, doesn't it? It seems like his ego is that in which that seems to be the only thing that matters. No doubt about it. All right, guys, a couple more of you double tap that screen. It's absolutely free to hit that like button. Send us out into that YouTube algorithm. 2 more, get us up to 30. We're always chasing 100 likes here on the live stream, so make sure you are crushing it. Again, guys, I want to talk about more of the stuff that we brought up at the beginning of the show. I just try to answer a lot of your chat questions, so like it up for me. I do go above and beyond what other creators do to answer your questions in the chat. I see people that have 20 people watching their live stream and literally will only answer a couple comments out of there. I really bust my ass to answer a lot of the comments. I'm not saying I get to them all anymore because I don't, but I really try to, and I think that deserves a like. So make sure you guys like it up for me here on Steel City Live. I'm your host, Jason, as always, and you are tuned in to Mike Drop Sports. So make sure you subscribe to Mike Drop Sports, and don't forget, hold on. We haven't announced. All right, guys, is it back on? Let me know if it's back now, guys. Let me know if I got it back. And then I'll reset the chat, too. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why YouTube's been screwy lately. There we go. Looks like it's back, so. Is the chat back up, or is the video back up for you guys? Let me know. Trying to find where I was. No reports coming from his management team that the Steelers aren't close on an agreeable amount. Mike T is not the problem. It's the lack of having a good mobile quarterback, and that's facts. Jeff, you're dead wrong, bro. I don't want to hear this. It's not having a good mobile quarterback. Bro, come on, man. It hasn't mattered who's been quarterback. It hasn't mattered who has been the offensive coordinator. It hasn't mattered about anything other than one common factor. Mike Tomlin's the fucking issue there, man. You get a flag, Jeff. You get the 15-yard flag tonight, my friend. Sorry about that. 15-yard penalty on you, Jeff, because you can't be a Mike Tomlin apologist. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, man. It just doesn't it's not a good look. You don't make any sense. It's a guy that has no ability to change. A guy that literally has screwed this Pittsburgh Steelers franchise due to his fucking ego. And I'm not going to sit here and overlook it. I'm not going to sit here and be like the rest of these podcasters and praise this guy who has brought nothing but mediocrity, who has never done anything with a team of his own. Never one time. When did he win his Super Bowl? When did he make it to a Super Bowl? With somebody else's fucking team. He rode somebody else's coattail, and it propelled him into this legendary status. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. He's not that great, guys. He's not. And maybe he's great with the players. Maybe that's the case. But schematically and in-game, he is terrible. No reports. We did that. Screen is jet black -2. Bears got Ben Johnson, the really good OC from Detroit. They have already made a move to fix their O-line and will bring in another expensive offensive lineman in free agency good this year. Ben may turn it around, Robert. That's their only hope. But their track record over the last, long time, they've been horrible, man. Caleb Williams is a fucking shit show, in my opinion. That's just me. He may end up being good, and I maybe end up being wrong. But I think Jaden Daniels was the head and shoulders above Caleb Williams. Downtown, Jeff Fowler, you be smoking the devil's lettuce. Geez, black and gold. Ben wasn't mobile, but had an arm and a hell of a pump fake. All these other quarterbacks we had were mobile. We just never had any consistency at OC with Tomlin at the helm. Guys, Big Ben was not a running quarterback, and the Steelers had success with him. He can move if he had to, but he's slow as shit. He's like a tortoise, but he made moves when he had to. But he's a guy that can make time, buy time, and that's what you're looking for. I don't want a running back. I don't give a fuck about some running back at quarterback. I don't want that. I don't care. I want a guy that can run when he has to, but will stand back there and take some time. And that's why I thought Shuck, after watching a lot of his highlights today, was an intriguing draft pick, if you ask me. He'll go and make and buy time by moving around with his legs, but he was like Ben. He'll stand in there and take that hit to deliver the football down the field. His accuracy and arm strength were really good. We're really, really good. And he played for a shitty team. Louisville wasn't great. All right. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Black and Gold. Appreciate you guys telling me. Sorry. Tomlin has too much power and Rooney lets it happen. Mafi, I'm not going to lie. I don't pay much attention to the Steelers, but there's a lot of wasted potential there. This isn't a chat for kids. Roberta Campbell, I thought the Commander QB was the best in the draft. Me too, Roberta. I really did. He is by far, Roberta. John Broadway, Big Ben made the tackle. Oh, man, that'll live in Steelers history forever, my friends. All right, guys, we need some more of you to double tap that screen, hit that like button, send us out into the algorithm. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulty there. That's not on my end. That's a YouTube thing. I don't know why. So if the screen goes black or something, or the audio goes out, I'm going to probably just close it out and come right back on and resume the chat. So don't leave. But I am tired of middle. I would take a couple bad years to get a quarterback in a new scheme, a.k.a. new head coach. I think I would at this point too, Craig. Definitely. But again, maybe you get lucky with a guy like a Tyler Shuck, man. The guy's 6'5", 225 pounds, 3,195 yards passing, 23 touchdowns to 6 interceptions in 2024. Again, solid pocket presence, mobile enough in the pocket, mobile enough with his feet, and has great accuracy and great arm strength. The only knock on him is his age. If he was 23 years old, with those intangibles, those measurements, those stats in his final year, he would be in the top 10 of this NFL draft. I'm just telling you now he would be. He's 6'5". He's a big, tall dude with a big rifle arm. He would be in the top 10 discussion right now. And I wouldn't be shocked if he slides up the draft board. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody doesn't take him in the first round. Maybe that's the Steelers. I'm just saying, guys. Guys like that are built like that, don't come around all the time. Guys that can stand in the pocket, especially now, don't come around all the time. They don't. Good night, downtown. Rubber Road. Shuck played 7 years in college for 3 schools. Injuries are, and the fact that he will be 27 soon are the knocks on him. I think he'll be 26 when the season starts, I want to say, Robert. I understand the injuries too. But yeah, it's so tough. Injuries are tough. That's the real thing. When you bring up the injuries, and I understand he played for 3 schools, I get that, but what he did in 2024 at Louisville, which wasn't a great team, was impressive. And again, he'll stand in there and take some of those hits. Maybe that's part of some of the things. Maybe he takes too much hits or too many hits. Maybe somebody can teach that out of him a little bit. Maybe that would help him in the injury department. But you definitely have a valid point. That could definitely be a problem. So if you could get him for a low value pick, maybe that's the best choice. But I like him. I don't dislike him. To Evil 2, Hope with the super chat. Now that Tomlin is finally getting a chance to build a team he deserves to get paid, Kenny Pickett is ready to make a run. Kitten Mittens probably is going to win about 10 Super Bowls, and Mike Tomlin should be paid a lifetime $100 million contract, and they should pay him that $100 million for the rest of his life. Let him go, man. Woo! Bad hair day. Good to see you too, Evil. Appreciate you, man, with the super chat, my friend. Did anyone catch Ben's podcast with Duck Hodges on it? I caught bits and pieces, Roberta. I haven't had time to watch it. I like to steam mop my hardwood floors. I'm into it. I like to keep them really shiny. I was planning on steam mopping my floors after the show, so I was planning on listening to Big Ben and Duck do their talk, man. Craig Werlow, there are so many QB-starved teams that teams will reach for one. They will, and that is a problem, Craig. That's why the quarterback salary has reached such a crazy height. Danny George, I miss Prime Big Bet. Me too, Danny. Black and Gold, I live in Maryland, 15 minutes down the street from the stadium, and Daniels is all they talk about on 106.7 The Fan. I don't think we need a mobile quarterback, but someone that can read the field, a gunslinger. You need somebody that's smart, man. And that was part of what I really liked about Wyatt Millum. I don't know if I'm saying his last name wrong, the WVU product, eating up a local visit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a short arm guy, but he's really up here, really schematically sound, an assignment sound type player. That's what you should be looking for if you're the Steelers. I think he, being a shorter arm guy, he's very strong though, athletic. And again, very, very, very fundamentally sound when it comes to schematics and assignments. A guy that could really move in and replace a guy like Isaac Seumalo and really complete the five offensive linemen that are super young within that first contract, and really take that offensive line, in my opinion, to new heights being so young. I love it when an offensive line forms and they're all high-quality players and they're all super young. Man, is that exciting, and that could spell big things for a football team. Sadly, it's a Mike Tomlin-driven football team, and that'll probably hinder some of their growth. Jamal laughing my ass off. I agree on Tomlin for life. Tomlin sucks, Jamal. Yes, Too Evil was just joking around. Jamal knows, Too Evil said. Jamal knows. Robert Road, Louisville wins 8 or more games most years. I just don't think they're that great. You don't see them playing in the national championship and stuff. That's what I'm gauging it off of, Robert. You know what I mean? I see what you're saying. But I could put, McDonald's Burger U on my schedule and get 8 wins. I can manufacture that as a college football program, especially a team up in the upper power conferences. Definitely, you could figure out how to get 8 wins. Definitely, in my opinion. I don't think they're a bad program. I just don't think they're one of the top elite ones. Are they good? Yes. But I just don't think they're an elite program. Ben is really getting good with his content and guests. Chad Schrader, here we go, Steelers, here we go. Too Evil, Too Hope, the Steelers should sign Lance, too. Yeah, Trey Lance would be another great move. Roberta Campbell, did you notice that Ben looked a lot thinner and younger when he was a rookie? I thought Big Ben was a little fatter when he was a rookie. I thought he thinned out more as he went through his career. We'll see, Chad. DJ Tennessee 901, 3 coaches in 60 years, 6 Lombardi trophies. Honestly, I think the expectations a burden to this franchise. I don't buy that, DJ Tennessee 901. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I'm not discounting it. But what you got to believe, if you're a winner and you come from a winning organization, you come from a city of winners, a city of hard workers, the expectations that you need to win a championship should never be looked at as like a burden, because it's not. It's called winner's attitude, and you expect to win. And let's be real honest, the Steelers haven't won shit in a long time. So the Steelers fans aren't spoiled. And having the expectation for them to start winning some fucking playoff games at this point, I don't think is unrealistic. I mean, Mike Tomlin has backed in or needed help to get into the playoffs for so long and hasn't won a game. You have the best defender on the planet, and he has no playoff wins. That doesn't make sense to me. And there's no excuse for that. And I don't think expecting your team to be good should be something that's frowned upon or looked as like, you're a little bit too much. I just think that is such a loser's mentality, in my opinion. And again, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not like discounting you. I'm just saying, in my opinion, you got to come correct and you got to come looking to win. Art and Tomlin both have overstayed their tenure. Art, though, is the owner, so his tenure's kind of infinite until he sells it or gives it to somebody else to lead. Winning a playoff game has been a burden for Tomlin. That's the burden, yeah. Winning a playoff game with a team you built, that's the burden on Mike Tomlin. The guy can't do it. Black and gold. Who would we like to be Tomlin's replacement? Cliff should be available in a few years, or maybe someone not on anyone's radar yet. Maybe Brian Flores. I don't know. Just asking. I can't wait. The Steelers have never went out there and hired a big name guy. They haven't. I don't know about Chuck Noll, how big his name was. I can't remember it. I wasn't alive during that time, but Bill Cowher wasn't a big name guy on everybody's radar. Mike Tomlin wasn't a big name guy on anybody's radar. These were no name guys that they went out there and hired. And I think that when people bring up who would we get if we don't have Mike Tomlin? The same type of situation that's been like every other time they've hired a guy. Just let it ride and see what young guy you can go out there and find and be loyal to them and allow them to see if they can build a team. But I think we've been overly loyal to one Michael Tomlin, and I think it showed, and I think the results have shown that too. And that's why I think Mike Tomlin's a little bit over his welcome here, or overstayed his welcome here. Just Mike Ego. Eagles, Robert Road, Louisville is a top 20 team 3 out of every 4 years. Yeah, honestly, Robert, I don't think any statistic's going to sway my opinion on it. I just don't think they're a great program. I don't think that they're a powerhouse program. I don't think they're one of those teams that I fear going into play if I'm, another college football team. I get what you're saying. And yeah, they're mediocre, but that's it. Mediocre, You got to be up there competing for championships year in, year out. And they haven't been in there competing for championships and titles and playoff spots. They just haven't been there. And at least last year when Shuck was the quarterback, I don't think they were. Again, I don't watch enough college football, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I know a bunch about it, because I'm not. In my head of how much I watch college football, I wouldn't say that they were like, a powerhouse team or a great team. Roberta Campbell, that is what I meant. He currently looks thinner and younger now more. Yeah, he does. He does now. Absolutely, Roberta. Yeah, we're not built for for that loser's mentality here in Steelers Nation. Last time I checked, the standard isn't average. It's winning in a postseason and winning championships. Yes, Art needs to step aside and let the children take charge of the team. J.J. Arthur Smith is trash. I can't say anything about Arthur just yet because I need to see at least one more year. I know, though, I'm kind of reaching there, too, because it's been the same thing no matter who's been there, man, in my opinion, at least over the last, 5 or 6 years, Jamal McCollum, Mike Tomlin is loved around the NFL. He's done what he can with the talent he's been given. He's not given any talent. He has a major, major hand in picking these people. Please don't get that twisted, Jamal. Don't try to prop him up on a pedestal when it's not warranted. You got to be a realist about it. You really do. You got to take off your Mike Tomlin blinders. You got to stop, being in love with the idea of Mike Tomlin and look at really what he's done. And that's just when you'll start to come to the realization the guy's garbage. Never had a losing season in his coaching history. Tomlin is one of the best coaches in the NFL. If he left the Steelers, he would have a job in 1 minute. I would promote anybody to hire him. I would be thankful if anyone would hire him. Thank you. I'd appreciate it. And honestly, the non-losing season record, you can wipe your ass with it. It means nothing. You're not winning anything in the playoffs. You're not gaining any ground. You're not getting any better. It's the same result over and over. If you like watching Groundhog Day, then so be it. This is the team for you. I'm just saying, this is the coach for you. Mike Tomlin has not progressed this program in any way, shape, or form. West Philly Black, Tomlin has never had a losing season in his coaching history. Tomlin is, oh my God, please. That was you, West Philly Black. Sorry, Jamal. Please, West Philly Black. I'll leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone because I don't want to get too deep into Mike Tomlin other than he's not progressed this football team in any way, shape, or form. DJ Tennis, he's actually regressed this football team, guys. He inherited a Ferrari with a Super Bowl winning team, a team that could compete for championships, and he's turned it into a team that can't fucking make it into the postseason without help 9 times out of 10. Let that sink into you a little bit. He's taken a team that he inherited that was winning championships, that could win, that was competitive, and taken it and turned it into a franchise that the standard is mediocrity. Let that sink in just a little bit. DJ Tennessee, why not use the same draft strategy used to build the dynasty? Consider the Steelers' 1974 draft class. It's got to be this. Best player available, in my opinion. I think that's the philosophy you always got to follow. Robert Rhodes says Noel was a big hire. Yeah, Robert, I don't know about that. I'll take your word for it on that one, that he was a big hire. Maybe he was. I don't know. I have no clue about that one. I wasn't alive I wasn't around when that one happened. Zoss says Tomlin is trash. Roberta Campbell, yes, the Steelers have been too loyal to Tomlin, and he wouldn't have lasted this long with any other team. The Steelers need to get rid of Cole Holcomb. Cowher didn't go 3 years without a playoff win. Tomlin hasn't gotten a playoff win with the team he built. Cowher didn't go a decade without winning a playoff game. We'll give him that, no doubt about that. Exactly, Jason Tomlin has had a major part in all the hiring. Yeah, and then people want to talk about he doesn't have a quarterback. He had a Hall of Fame quarterback for the majority of that Hall of Fame quarterback's career. Let's be real. He's had quarterbacks. Awesome, Dustin. I like Big B too. He's actually on a show, Dustin. He was on this show, too. But I like Big B. Much love, man. Robert Rowe, Tomlin's biggest fans are not Steelers fans. Very telling. Oh, yeah, exactly. That is very telling. No doubt about it. Everybody else loves Mike Tomlin, but people in the city of Pittsburgh. It is very telling. D, Ravens flock. Ravens will be the ones to three-peat. The Ravens can't even fucking win in the playoffs. Yeah, they beat the Steelers. Whoopee shit. Mike Tomlin coaches them. You have a quarterback in Baltimore that can't win a big game. And you're going to sit here and talk about the ones to three-peat? Lamar Jackson can't even get his ass into a Super Bowl, let alone fucking three-peat, D. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, doubt that. To the episode's topic, how much would a mistake of not signing Feilds this season set us back, and what do we do? What rabbit would Con and Waddle pull out of the hat? Carr, Daniel, Jones, Darnold. Yeah, maybe. But I just think that the plan has to be 2026, black and gold. And I think Feilds leads you to that path. And that's the only reason I say that. And is there somebody else that perhaps could get you down that road to 2026? Yes. But I think in terms of what you could get a player for, what their value is, what their upside is, what the potential of them being able to do certain things inside of the offense, I think Feilds makes sense. I don't think they're going to be able to get Feilds because I think he's sour over Mike Tomlin, and I don't blame him because Mike Tomlin's ego is one in which caused Justin to sit on the bench for the majority of the year. One in which caused Justin to sit there and watch a 5-game losing streak without any adjustments from that coaching staff, and that can't be good. And that's Mike Tomlin's ego getting in the way of the Steelers progressing as a football team. And people can sit there and argue it all they want. The proof is in the pudding, man. The proof is in the pudding that Mike Tomlin took a Ferrari and made it a mediocre laughingstock of the NFL that is undisciplined, schematically shit, and just a team that can't get out of their own way. But I don't know what they would pull out of their hat. There are options. It's just whether or not you even want to go down that road. I don't know which one it would be, and I don't even want to sit here and speculate like I would know because I don't. Devin Burkett, do you think we should have given up a 5th rounder for Deebo Samuels even if he was washed? That's a cheap pick up to find out. Yeah, I would have given up a 7th to get Christian Kirk in the building, though. I don't know. The Deebo one might have been one that I would have questioned just because I don't know about Deebo. But Christian Kirk, man, I would have freaking gave a 7th in a heartbeat. I do not know how the Steelers didn't make that deal. Maybe that deal wasn't presented to them. I don't know. But I don't know how you don't bring Christian Kirk into the building for that. And there's been several examples of that. And that's what worries me this offseason. Boswald, we won't do that one, Roberto. When people keep being the huge cheerleader for Tomlin are actually Tomlin fans and not true Steeler fans. I love football and the Steelers. Tomlin has just overstayed his tenure, and real FBS, our real fans know it. Yeah, they're typically not Steeler fans. People that prop Mike Tomlin up aren't Steeler fans. Steeler fans see it week in and week out. They understand the mediocrity. They understand how shitty he is. I don't know what you're talking about, JJ. Sign Cole Holcomb. I mean, the guy got hurt. He was playing fantastic before he got injured. You know what I mean? The guy was a fantastic signing. He was playing lights out before he got injured. So to say that the Steelers didn't need to sign Cole Holcomb, I think you're wrong. This is the dumbest comment of the night. And Jamal, I usually am not going to knock you like this, but you brought this on yourself, bro. You get a flag, man. Jamal, you get a flag, brother. This is the comment, guys. This is from Jamal McCollum. If you want to be serious, Rapeless Burger is the reason we messed up Le'Veon Bell and AB. Big Ben did not want any players to outshine his ego. That might be the dumbest comment that I ever heard in my life, dude. Honestly, I don't even know how to respond to it. I mean, honestly, Jamal, I'm not being ignorant, brother. I'm not even trying to dog you. You get a flag though for that one. Man, that's a tough comment, dude, to sit there and say that. AB hurt himself by acting like a crazed lunatic, and he got his way out of Pittsburgh after the Steelers made him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL at the time. I don't know if you know that, Jamal. Le'Veon Bell was offered one of the largest contracts in Steelers history at the time, Jamal. I don't know if you're aware of that for a non-quarterback. So it wasn't a Big Ben thing. Big Ben wanted those players around him because he knew he was smart enough to understand that he had to have players around him. Actually, it'd be quite the other way if you want to talk about it. Big Ben was probably more pissed about not having those players in the building than, sitting there saying, oh, I got to outshine them. The quarterback outshines everybody if the team's winning. He knows that. He isn't stupid. I wouldn't either. Lamar's terrible. You're tripping, Jamal. Yes, agree. These are all placeholders till we draft our next franchise quarterback from Black and Gold. Noel knew nothing but winning prior to getting to the Steelers. DC for Shula's Colts on the staff for a very good Chargers team and won a ton as a two-way player for the Browns under Paul Brown. That's awesome, man. I didn't know all that. Definitely need to brush up on my Noel history. I like him. I like him as the Steelers coach. Definitely didn't remember everything that he did. That's really good information, though. Thank you, Robert D. Everybody would take Lamar over Justin Fields, Russell 19, 20 times, and that one person is a dumb Steelers fan. No, Lamar Jackson doesn't win big games. Why would you want to pay somebody $52 million? Nah. Now, I wasn't dogging you, Jamal. I wouldn't dog you. I just, that comment was, I wasn't in agreement with that one, man. All right, guys, we've been going for over an hour. Sorry if I missed your chat, but I'm going to get off here, man. I appreciate you guys for joining us here for Steel City Live. The chat always dictates the conversation. I always come with conversation pieces. We talk about them a little bit, and then the chat, we just go off, man. And that's what I like about this show, and it's just a daily bullshit session. Thank you to people that did the super chats. Truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave if you haven't already. It's absolutely free to do so. So make sure you do that. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So until tomorrow, my friends, on Friday night, I'm Jason. This is the show Steel City Live, only on Mic Drop Sports. See you, my